Hello and welcome. I'm Emerald Mosaic and it's time for another painting. Yes, you see, I have my blow dryer out. I'm gonna do another Dutch pour. I haven't done one of these in quite a long time. I've spent the last couple, week or so here and there looking online at a whole bunch of different techniques for painting because I wanted to have like a little cheat sheet for myself. So I have a little notebook and so I have a whole bunch of different techniques in here, like I've got a funnel pour, Dutch pour, kissing cups pour, 2-cup pour, injection pour. That's a thing that I just learned about today, and so on. So that way I have a little cheat sheet for myself, so I can just glance at it before I do a painting and be like, oh yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be doing next. Helps to refresh your memory before you do a painting. But I have also found that there are so many techniques, I'm a little overwhelmed. Like, I want to try them all. I can't, over the course of my life, I hope I can. We'll see how far I get. So today I'm going to do a Dutch pour. I saw somebody else do this. Now they used a heart shape. I have a pear. I have a little bat that I'm going to use later for Halloween, but it's summer. It's not Halloween yet, so I can't use that. And then I have a star that is like this big. It's way too big for this little canvas. So that's for another painting I'll do later, or a different type of painting I want to do. So I saw an artist do this painting where she laid down white and then she put this heart shape on one side, and she just left it like that, and then she did a Dutch pour around it in shades of blue, which I thought was gorgeous. So I'm going to do something very similar, but I have other ideas. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. I have no idea what this is going to look like when I'm done. We'll find out. I'm just excited about trying some new things, going back to a technique that I have not practiced enough. So anyways, I've got here a Sax Titanium White. I'm not going to use this whole cup because some of this is going to be used for the Dutch pour, and you'll see in a little bit. So let's see. I want to keep at least an ounce in reserve for that. I have seen a lot of artists who do a lot of Dutch pours use their blow dryer to blow out the white paint. I don't really feel like doing that. I understand why they do it, but it's just not something that I really want to do. I'm okay with that. To each their own, right? As you go, you develop your own techniques that work best for you. Off the corner, there we go. Get my corners. Okay, there's my base coat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set this. I'm going to set it right, like just a little bit lower than the middle. I'm thinking like a photographer. I took 1 year of photography in high school and I learned just enough to know a little bit about how to place things in a square, you know, or in a rectangle, in a frame. So here's what I'm going to do. This is Liquitex Basics Cadmium Red. I've thinned it with Floetrol and water. I didn't write down the proportions, but I'm just going to put some of it in here, not a ton. I just want there to be, okay, come on, go down there. That little div, the stem of the pear is a little bit hard. I'm just going to put a little bit, kind of get that, and then a little puddle. Okay, that should be plenty of that. I don't want to overdo this part, but I heard about this technique called an injection pour. And it just, the idea fascinated me because I was a nurse for 17 years. So this is Color Pour Light Pink. I'm just drawing some up into a syringe. I happen to have a 1 milliliter syringe, so that's all I'm going to use. I don't really want to use any more than that anyway because I don't want to flood this. But I'm going to put this might be a little bit hard to see. Let me move this up a little bit higher. I'm going to put this underneath, kind of, sort of, and inject it under the other paint and kind of drag it around, get up in that corner. And trying to hold it steady. There we go. All right, we'll see what happens with that. I think it's a really neat technique, and we'll see what that does. I think it's going to be interesting. Trying to press that down. I know a little bit is probably going to come out the sides, but I tried to not put very much in there because I don't want it to be, it's not a, what's the words? It's not an open cup pour that I'm trying to do here. So, okay. Now for my other colors, put the cap on this so that doesn't dry out. I don't have very much left of this. This is I think it's a 1 ounce bottle and it's almost empty. So I'm trying to save it. Okay, so for my other colors, I've already thinned them in the cups. I have DecoArt Metallic Amethyst, and so this is what it looks like in the cup. Hope you can see that okay. Put these in the order that I have the cups. Then I have Crafter's Square Metallic Silver, and it looks like this in the cup. And then this is, I believe the brand is Abstract Innovative Acrylic, and it is primary blue. So I got these little packets from the resale, the craft resale shop in town here in Cedar Rapids called the Create Exchange. So I mixed this up with, I did 1 part paint, 1 part Floetrol, and 2 parts water. We'll see. I've not used this before, so we shall see what it does. I'm excited because they told me this is a high-end brand, and I got these for free. I got a whole bunch. I got about 9 packs of these, and 3 packs made 4 ounces once mixed up. So very excited to do that. So what I'm going to do after I get this little bit out of here, I'm going to put my lines around this pear and blow around it. And of course there's the requisite cat hair, of course. It's Emerald Mosaic's apartment. Of course there's cat hair. So I'm going to start with my amethyst. I thinned this just a little bit because this is a Dutch pour. And then I'm just going to go that. I hope that's not too thin. We'll see. Oh, that's pretty. That blue is very pretty. Pouring evenly is not one of my strong suits. That's okay. I also just recently got these little cups at Dollar Tree earlier this week. So interesting. It has already dived under the other colors. So this is a heavier color, so that's good to know. I don't think I want to add any more of that. So here's where I use the rest of my white. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I hope that's enough. I think, because I want to blow it over and then blow it back, or, no? I think I want to start up here and go that way, and then over here and go that way. I think. We'll see. I'm going to play with this. Okay. I'm going to put it on low. Low heat. Okay. Move this out of the way. I've got another painting plan. All right. Ooh. Okay. That was on low. This is so pretty. Oh my goodness. There's cells, there's lacing. Oh my goodness. There's a cat hair. I'm gonna use my straw to blow out just a little bit over here. Some up here. I kind of like the smoky wispy, but I wanted to blur it a little bit more. Ooh, oh, that's pretty. This is so interesting how the blue is hiding underneath, but you can clearly see that it is through here. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed that some of this got out, but all right, let me lift that off. And I'm gonna blow this out just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Kind of like a flower. Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty. That is so pretty. I really like this. That is beautiful. Wow. Okay, let me bring you in for a close-up. There we go. Okay. Let me do it this way. So I don't have the shadow over it. I'll just zoom in. Wow. Oh, that's pretty. It almost looks black in there, like grayish. That's really cool. I really like the flower in the middle. I was not intending for that to be a flower. I thought it would be a pear, but it's a flower in a sea of purple and blue. that silver is what, yeah, the silver is what makes that look almost grayish. But that is really pretty. I love the blue coming through in some of these. It's like a little river of blue. That is just gorgeous. And then up here in this corner, look at the blue up there. That just stands out. And there's so many cells, so much lacing. Oh, this is gorgeous. Yes, I am very happy with this. Okay, so now let me see here. I'm gonna set this up here, and then I gotta come around the table to make sure that it is centered properly so you have a good view, because I have another painting I want to do. You get a 2-for-1 today. So, oh, right, it helps if I pull back out right about there. Okay, hope that's right. So, now before I take this off, put that over there, move that up out of the way. There we go. Got to catch your drips. You should do this at least twice, if not 3 times, before you leave it to dry. Man, I just love this primary blue. It turned out gorgeous. The metallic amethyst is also just absolutely stunning. Let me bring this over a little bit so I can reach. Okay. All right, I'm gonna set this aside and go ahead and stick that in the oven, which is my flat surface. Gotta wipe my fingers before I take up the tray. Again, I do not turn the oven on. That is just a flat place to set it while it dries. Don't turn your oven on to dry your paintings. You'll ruin it. Okay, so for this, I'm going to do a swipe using the same colors. So, I think actually this would be a great opportunity to reuse some paint. Because why not? If I'm going to do a swipe anyway. You know me, I don't like wasting paint. Oh, I forgot to mention that the silver that I used, I had added a few drops of coconut oil. A lot of people talk about using silicone or various other types of oils, but coconut oil works too, just so you know. Okay, that's plenty for a swipe, really. Actually, I'm gonna kind of smooth it out a bit and let me get my corners and edges covered, and then I'm got a little bit more over here that has more the amethyst in it that I want to use. This is pretty. Don't get me wrong, this is gorgeous, but it's going to be even better. Okay. All corners and edges covered. Yeah, I went to Dollar Tree last week, and I got a stack of canvases and wooden pieces to paint on. I was gonna use white, and I'm just gonna use this. See, I was gonna use the silver for the swipe, but I'm gonna use red for the swipe. There's my card. I'm just using a plain card. I'm honestly not sure how well this will work, but since I've got so many other cells popping up, it just might. Oh, right, I almost forgot. I wanted to grab some more of this first. Drizzle that on there like you do for a swipe. A little bit more from this side. There we go. Okay. It's so pretty. All these colors are just so pretty. Okay. So I'm going to put red along this edge and then use this to swipe along the middle there. And hopefully get some really good cell action going. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness, yes. Whoo. Wow. I'm gonna let that sit for just a second. Wow. You know, I'm gonna torch it and see if I can't get these to get bigger. You know, I didn't even torch the other painting. Wow. It doesn't really need much more than that. Look at all those cells, and there's cells within cells. Let me kind of spread it out a bit. Get some of the extra red off. I'm gonna stretch this out a little bit. Wow. It's been a while since I added any kind of oil to my paint, so I'd forgotten just how well it works for cells. Okay. And some of the red is starting to blend and blend with the amethyst to make a darker purple. Wow, that's pretty. Whew. Finally, a swipe gone right. I was having so much trouble with swipes there for a while. I was so nervous about trying again. Okay, let me bring the camera in for another close-up so you can see what I am seeing. Just let me pull out and then zoom in. That seems to work better. Look at all those cells within cells within cells. Wow. And up here you have the red blending in with that amethyst to make such a pretty color. That is just gorgeous. I like it. I'm not sure I would use red again next time with these colors for a swipe, but I think it's a really fascinating look. It's quite the contrast. I'm just in love with this corner over here, by the way. That is just gorgeous. That little bit of blue right there is just so pretty. Okay. Well, that is everything for today, and thank you so much for joining me on this wild ride. This has been so much fun. Turn the camera back the way you were. And I hope that this has inspired you to get creative and do something different. Combine techniques together, combine colors in a way maybe you wouldn't normally. Again, I would not normally have used that red with these particular colors, but it looks good. So get out there and do some painting. Maybe put a link in a comment with a link to your video of your painting so I can see what you're doing, and maybe we can inspire each other. Sound good? All right. Y'all have a wonderful day. I will see you soon.